What's up, guys and girls? My name's John, and welcome to Rails, Tales, and Trails. So today, we're going to talk about a topic that a lot of you guys have been sending in messages and comments on, and that is furloughs. So before we kick this sucker off, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Only 38% of our viewers are subscribed to the channel. So if you could hit that little black or red button, whatever it is down there on your screen, to help promote and grow this channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. So guys, without further ado, we're going to get into the main topic of today, and that is furloughs. All right, guys, so furloughs. This is that evil and dreaded word as a new hire or a potential new conductor that everybody has heard, and now we're getting into peak season towards the end of the year, and this is when this word becomes much more prevalent in daily conversation for people applying, people working at the railroad. I'm going to share kind of my experiences and some tips on that. So guys, first and foremost, what is a furlough? A furlough is a leave of absence, and it happens in the railroad when, based on your seniority, you can no longer hold a job or a position at that location. And instead of just getting your pink slip and be like, sorry about you, thanks for coming, you're fired, you get what's called a furlough. So you're laid off, but you're not terminated. That's important to remember because, you got several options in most cases at your disposal whenever a furlough happens. We'll get into that later. So just remember, you're not fired, you're laid off, you're not terminated. There are some benefits to being furloughed that you need to be aware of. And each carrier is different in how they handle this based on their policies and union agreements. With that said, why does a furlough happen? Well, like I said, a furlough is when you can no longer hold a job or a position at your terminal based on your current seniority number. And so being the new guy or gal out here on the railroad, it's going to happen. It's almost like a rite of passage that, you talk to any railroader and be like, hey, you ever been furloughed? And usually you're going to get a face palm or a head shake or something. And then you're going to get a depressing story about how they got hammered, a couple of years back in, man, I was here for the great furlough of 2003. Oh man, it was, you think soup lines were about to line up, and, based on how you navigate a furlough, you could end up in a soup line. But don't let that freak you out, because I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to what to keep an eye on here. So a furlough happens when there's two primary reasons: budget cuts and a slowdown in traffic. Now, slowdown in traffic could be because of, it's the end of the holiday season. Like, we're just getting into peak season right now. Things are supposed to be picking up. And, after Christmas, nobody's doing a whole bunch of shipping and sending for the holiday seasons. It's over. And so, traffic's going to slow down for a couple of months. That's kind of the normal. That's kind of to be expected. And I see old medic back there just doing his doggy thing. Anyways, so that's to be expected. And people say typically in your first 5 years, expect to be furloughed at the end of the year for a month or two. That's kind of the normal, and so far it's played out to be true. The other thing is budget cuts. There's a big thing out here that is now in everybody's mouths, and that's precision scheduled railroading, or PSR for short, which is basically doing all the work plus more with less personnel, less investment, and less people, and so, some of these railroads have cut pretty deep. And so furloughs have been happening because of PSR. I don't care what anybody says. You can look at the data and the analysis of everything on your own, and 2 + 2 does equal 4. I mean, it's just right there. There's no personal opinion needed in that. And like I said, typically you're going to see the slowdowns and possibly furloughs during the end of an election year, post holidays. So like at the end of summer, things are going to slow down, between summer and Thanksgiving, when about, peak season hits. And then, at the first of the year, the January, February, March area, leading up to spring break or something like that. Anyways, those are when you're going to kind of see your slowdowns. And the rule of thumb is, for those first 5 years, plan accordingly for those times, and mainly the first of the year ones. And I'm going to share some advice that was passed down to me by some old heads and just some experienced railroaders from my union that has served me really, really well. And the first one of that is save money. Guys, you may be getting huge, especially right now, you may be getting huge sign-on bonuses, $10, $15, $20, $25,000 at some of these places. When you get it, bank it. Pay whatever bills you need off. Okay? Pay it off, because that's going to, do you well in the long run. But don't go use that on a down payment or a brand new house. Just don't do it. Okay? So save that money, bank it. Leave it there for a rainy day, because you're going to have a rainy day. Also, don't run out there, and now that you got a job that's going to look good on a loan application, don't go do big purchases. Don't go buy that brand new house. Don't go buy that brand new truck. Buy what you need. Okay, like in our case, my old truck basically blew the hell up. I had no choice, because we live in our fifth wheel. All right, that is our home. We need the truck for the fifth wheel. Those are really our only two expenses that we have. And even those two combined are less than pretty much everybody's house mortgage, even before inflation. Okay. So if you do got to do a big purchase, be smart about it. Make sure it's a necessity. Do your research and play it smart. Trust me, you'll thank me later for that. And my third piece of advice here, guys, is if you're a new hire and you get furloughed, don't get discouraged. One thing about the railroad is eventually the business comes back and you're going to get recalled. So if you get furloughed and you don't want to chase work, or due to your company and union agreements, you don't have the ability with your seniority to go from terminal to chase, don't get discouraged. Go out, have a fallback plan for a job towards the end of the year, and, go and talk to some people, friends, family, previous employers, and be like, hey, I'm working for the railroad now, and towards the end of the year after Christmas, I may get furloughed for a couple months. Can I come work for you? Work on having that backup plan in place in case that happens. Okay. The other thing is, though, and I just kind of mentioned it, is chasing work. If you don't want to take the furlough and you want to keep working, there's the option of chasing work, which is basically going to another terminal to where you can hold with your seniority, and under your local agreements, you can transfer over there temporarily to go chase work. That's a very common thing for a lot of railroaders, especially in their first 5 years or so, which is how Taylor and I ended up in a camper. And we've chasing work does not necessarily have to be a bad thing. But anyways, I'm going to have some more videos on that later. Just remember, guys, keep your head up. It does get better. The work does come back, and you will get recalled. So guys, with that said, that's what a furlough is. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by here and leaving your comments. Leave more comments, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Give me a thumbs up, share this video, whatever you want to do. Helps grow our channel. You guys are amazing, and we will see you on the next one.